Welcome to another episode of TechGate Africa. My name is Regan, I'm your host. Today is a good day because we'll be looking at the latest tech trends sweeping across the African continent, right? For the first segment, or for the first topic, we want to look at African startups making waves, right? So we want to shine a spotlight on some incredible African startups that are making waves globally or regionally. From fintech to healthcare, these startups are redefining industries. And there's been a recent boom in startups being developed in Kenya, Uganda, in Nigeria. I think Nigeria is the leading ones in fintech, and then Kenya is falling behind. I'm not sure, but yeah, in Kenya per se, I've had a startup. It was called SwePay. It was a cross-border payment platform, basically for African countries, but I failed. These things happen. You may have some successes, you will have some failures. Don't hold it against me. But we do have amazing startups that are made in Africa and are reaching globally. In terms of fintech, we did have. I'm sure it still exists, but of late, no one is really hearing about it. I don't know what's the issue. We do have Cheaper Cash. Cheaper Cash was a fintech startup developed in Nigeria. But say it was backed up by a group in the was it in the UK? I'm not so sure. More information about that will be posted on our blogs. Another startup we do have, I'll try and focus in Kenya. Apparently, when you Google Safaricom, it is listed under startup. When you go to F63 for startups, you will see Safaricom as a startup. A $1 billion company is a startup. You're wondering. We do have Mkopo in Kenya that has been quite successful. We do also have this one for solar panels. I'm not sure what it is. We also have Zidali. Zidali is by a friend of mine named Nelly. It's a transportation startup for kids. If you need to take your kids to school and back, or they're going on trips, apparently it can be quite difficult because you have work, you have things you need to do, and also you need to ensure the person that you're trusting with your kid, your kid is safe and sound, right? You want them to come, leave you at one piece and come home at one piece. So she developed that kind of startup. She's been growing slowly but steadily. That's the goal. Small steps, big visions. That's how you grow. But then let's talk about the boom in startups and why a lot of startups are failing per se in Africa as a general. The first thing is a lot of us we have great ideas as founders. We have great ideas that we want to implement. We're already envisioning how it will change in a certain aspect, but most of us don't actually see. We are not the same as the Western world. Like there was a startup that was ordering something, had developed a certain way. In terms of if you're Kenyan, then you know Beziamade. Like if you're in school or you're at work and it's lunchtime, you can go to certain location areas called vibandas and you can have your meals, maybe a chapati and beans. Now we did have a startup that was trying to phase out mother vibanda, as they say, where it works basically like bolt food. You order and they bring it right to your doorstep or at your workplace. Now, one thing, from my own perspective, the prices were a bit higher because you have to cover delivery costs, you have to buy ingredients, you have workers. So you'd find a meal that will go for around 100 and 120 shillings will be 500 on the application. And that is something we as Kenyans, a 500 lunch, that's, we make it. So yeah, I'm sure, okay, I'm not sure, but I think the founder didn't go through what we need as African, because one thing you guys need to understand, problems are different. What America is facing isn't what the UK is facing. What the UK is facing isn't what Russia is facing or the Middle East. Same as Kenyans and Ugandans. Yes, we might live in the same continent, but we might have similar problems, one or two, but we'll find that there are other major problems that set us apart. Now, when you're developing a startup, you have to see it in the real sense. Is this something that Africans need? Is it something that we can say, oh, where was this product before? Because when you look at how M-Pesa started when it was a time where there there was it was really hard when it came to sending money to our loved ones or our businesses. You had to go to the bank, but then they came up with a revolutionary idea where you can send payments through your phone, any part in the country. That was a groundbreaking idea. And when you look at the problem that it solved, one of the problems was time wastage. Instead of me going to the bank, writing the details of bank, I don't even understand when you want to send money or want to pay school fees at a bank. It's so hectic, and then there are long lines, the wastage. Maybe there wasn't a bank in your local area at that time, because I believe it happened when Kenya as a whole was starting to develop from the colonial rule. So yeah, it was a really groundbreaking change. Another one is we also have the M-Kopo. I'm talking about successful startups in Kenya per se. We have, I'm not sure. Is there any other? I'm not looking at the one that's growing up. I'm looking at the successful ones. Yeah, but you get the point. Now, the main issue that I wanted to address, there are a lot of fintech startups in Kenya that they are doing the same thing. All of them are cross-border platform. All of them offer competitive rates. All of them. And we did have a discussion where we were like, is there a way for these startups to form a partnership, come together, merge with each other, share resources, skill set for them to grow more? But then again, it's really hard it's really hard starting a startup, especially in the fintech space, because you do require a license from the Central Bank of Kenya, that is the CBK. After that, you need to have your account you need to prove to them that in an event where something happens to your business, your customers, your consumers' assets are well and asserted for, which is understandable, because when I want to keep cash in your application or your platform, I need to be ensure that it's in a safe space. Now, there's been a recent talk where a lot of fintech startups are pivoting to other branches. Pivoting is just a way of moving in a different direction. Others say, oh, it's machine learning, it uses a different AI system, but basically it's the same, to be honest. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. The year is still young. We're starting 2024. Thank God for being here, by the way. And we'll see how these startups will play out, right? Now, I will have with me one of the founders, actually two of the founders of Gizmunch. Gizmunch I want to say it's a startup. It's a startup. Is it a startup? Or is it it's a startup because, yeah, it's a startup. Basically, they're doing what you're doing, but in terms of, in a much broader way. The founder is a guy named Tony, and also we have the co-founder that will be joining us on the next episode. That will be John Waithaka. John Waithaka has been a good friend of mine. We studied together at Kabarak University, where we grew up together, helped each other out, and became bros. So they will be coming here and talking about what they do, how they do it, and the forefront of innovation. Now, tech events are really important to empower individuals on becoming more innovative, meeting new people. We did have an event that was supposed to be scheduled on Sunday, or was it Saturday? It was a game jam event, if I'm correct. And basically, I don't know what happened. It was cancelled there. It was an event for game developers. So the game developers, designers, and other devs. It was supposed to be a 3-day scheduled thing. But on unforeseen circumstances, the event was cancelled, and I was really forward to looking to go into that, meeting new people, having challenges. Now, and talk about being a tech innovator, being a tech entrepreneur. Your journey will always be like a peak of a mountain. You'll have there are days that you'll feel high on earth, there are days you'll feel below, you just feel down, and basically it's okay because, like I said, you're introducing something new in the market. You will find a bit of resistance, and getting your first clients is really hard, especially in African countries. It's really, really hard. I understand that you have to spend a lot of your resources into marketing it, into ensuring that you have a good distribution channel where it's easier to access your content more than your competitors. And then there's the issue of providing top-notch quality to ensure that you're one step ahead, because at the end of the day, quality beats quantity, right? So yeah, what I can say, if you want to become a tech founder, an entrepreneur in tech, you have a lot of work to do. There's a lot of competition out there. There are a lot of talented individuals out there, and they won't waste a second to bring you down so that they can go up. It's the truth. That's how it works. So anyway, again, we love hearing from our community. Again, it's on the website below. I'll leave the link in the description where you can go. Especially, you can go subscribe, choose a plan that works for you. Remember, we do have a free standard and a premium package where the free version is free. You don't need to pay anything. For the second version, you do need to pay $2,500 per month. We do come with a 7-day free trial, but you get to enjoy a lot of features, a lot of experience. You get to come to exclusive tech events where the influential people in technology, in software engineering, IT, cybersecurity, we get to sponsor you for one of your courses, buy you a laptop, buy you cybersecurity equipment like the Flipper Zero. If you're into networking, you can buy your workstation, make it as a server, create a home server, configure your networks, help you get a CCNA certification, and again, basically want to connect you with people in your field so that you get to understand how the thing goes. Same to machine learning, same to game development. We do have a lot of things in planned for you guys. I would advise, if you do have the resources, kindly chip in. If you're going to join that bootcamp, if you want to join that university, if you're in university doing your computer science, or if you're in a bootcamp, you're almost done, or you're done and you don't know what you need to do, or you need some guidance, it's okay. Come, and you will be required to invest a little, because when you look at what you're giving back, it's actually more than what you're giving in, and we ensure you that we'll be with you every step of the way. If you feel like we're not there with you at any given time, feel free to post a complaint and we'll do our investigations. If you find it audible that yes, you did pay for service and you did not get the proper treatment, or that you feel that you aren't accounted for well, you will be refunded. You will be refunded your cash, and but still you'll get to retain the premium, so you'll still enjoy what you have. That's how committed we are. We have a team of specialists that are ready to assist anyone who might need anything. Now, right. Today we'll be addressing some questions that you will be sending in. You'll be sending in through the website, if there's any, or social media. At any given time. Just this episode will be released a bit later from the first one that you might hear. So feel free to come back and post a question or a query, and we'll be giving back to you. Now, first of all, shout out to every influencer on TikTok, tech influencer, that's been keeping us up to date. They're doing a really good job. It's a really hard process, preparing content, writing scripts, and preparing yourself in front of the camera. It's not an easy task. I do understand that, and I want to thank you, and We want to notify that you guys are actually doing an amazing job. Keep it up. Now, once again, because this is the second one, we're looking at startups in Kenya, in Africa as a whole. We'll be doing a deep dive on why software, the dark side of software engineering, the dark side of tech, the struggles that people go through, what you need to do, what you need to guidance. All that will be covered in our next episode. I'm sorry if this wasn't into your liking. We're just looking at a few startups in Kenya and in Africa that actually made a change, and are the ones that are actually doing a change. Again, if you do have a startup, please reach out to us where we can have an interview and you can share what is relevant in your startup, what you guys are building up, and how do you guys want to revolutionize change. Like I said, again, look at the problems that are faced in the community. Right now, we have Kenya Power being having their prices too high for the average Kenyan consumer, and we have a startup that is working with solar panels. I'm not sure if that's forgotten the name. It's something light, where they provide solar solutions to their customers. It's a bit pricey at first, especially if you have a big apartment or a big house. But that again, that's a one-time investment. That's the goal. You pay for it once, and you'll have it forever. So again, feel free to share your details of your startup or your innovation and you want to be featured. There will be a video later, but because we were launching, we wanted to start up with the podcast because it's a bit easier preparing and fine-tuning the details and maybe editing, but we will be doing much more. So again, thank you for tuning in. Remember to subscribe, share, and engage with us on social media. Use the TechGetAfrica hashtag and stay tuned for more exciting episodes. We will be rewarding our subscribers. We will be rewarding our most active listeners with amazing products in tech. We will be having events where I promise you the people you'll meet will be worth it. We're working to invite the people that will actually be a great value of your money and which you actually consider it as a steal, like you're stealing from us. So again, the world is changing and we want to help be the ones there to hold your hands and be the ones that say this is what you need to do to succeed, because at the end of the day we don't want you spending all your money or all your resources on a bootcamp or on a course or even being self-taught and you don't focus on other areas. And when you reach to the job market, whether it's it's freelancing, remote or on-site positions, you get surprised because what you see there isn't what you learned. This is because you didn't have someone to help you out. And this applies in each area in technology, which will have. Some might be hurtful, we're faced with a lot of criticism, but hey, again, we're here to help. We're not here to look down on anyone. If you feel like there's a topic where it wasn't handled well, please feel free, reach out to us, and we'll assist you as best as we can. That is an assurance from the founder. My name is Regan Enoch. Remember, this is Tech Africa, your go-to source for all things tech on the continent. I'll see you guys soon and have a great day.